A towering figure in 20th century philosophy and literature, Jean-Paul Sartre was a French philosopher, playwright, novelist, and political activist. Known for his role in existentialism and phenomenology, Sartre's influence extends beyond philosophy into literature, politics, and cultural criticism. Sartre's ideas about freedom, responsibility, and the nature of existence remain profoundly relevant in contemporary philosophical and ethical debates. Born in 1905 in Paris, Sartre lost his father at a young age and was raised by his mother and grandparents. A brilliant student, he pursued philosophy at the École Normale Supérieure, where he developed a lifelong interest in existential questions. During his studies, he encountered the works of phenomenologist Edmund Husserl and philosopher Martin Heidegger, which deeply influenced his philosophical outlook. Sartre's lifelong partnership with philosopher and feminist Simone de Beauvoir was central to both their personal and intellectual lives. Their open relationship defied conventional norms, and they often collaborated on philosophical and literary projects. Sartre served in the French army during World War II and was captured by German forces in 1940. During his imprisonment, he wrote parts of Being and Nothingness. After his release, Sartre became involved in the French resistance and used his writings to critique authoritarianism. In 1964, Sartre was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, but famously declined it, citing his desire to remain independent from institutional recognition. He continued to write and engage politically until his death in 1980. Sartre's existentialism centers on the principle that existence precedes essence, unlike traditional philosophical perspectives that ascribe a predetermined essence or purpose to human beings. Sartre argued that individuals are born without inherent meaning and must create their own essence through actions and choices. He highlighted the concept of radical freedom, asserting that humans are condemned to be free. This freedom, while empowering, brings the burden of responsibility, as every action contributes to defining one's essence and impacts others. Being and Nothingness 1943 is Sartre's seminal philosophical work. It explores the nature of consciousness, freedom, and human existence. Sartre makes a key distinction between being in itself and soi, objects or entities that exist independently and lack consciousness, being for itself pour soi, conscious beings, such as humans, capable of self-reflection and intentionality. Sartre introduces the concept of bad faith mauvaise foi, where individuals deceive themselves to avoid confronting the anxiety of freedom. For example, people may conform to societal roles or beliefs to escape the responsibility of authentic self-definition. Sartre was heavily influenced by Edmund Husserl's phenomenology, particularly the idea of intentionality, which posits that consciousness is always directed towards something external. This intentional structure underpins human experience and shapes how individuals engage with the world. He argued that consciousness is characterized by a perpetual lack, the sense of incompleteness that drives human action and creativity. This lack is essential to understanding human freedom and aspiration. Sartre's ethical philosophy revolves around the concept of authenticity. To live authentically is to acknowledge and embrace one's freedom, acting in accordance with self-defined values rather than conforming to societal expectations or external pressures. Authenticity requires confronting existential angst, the discomfort of realizing the absence of predetermined meaning. Sartre viewed this confrontation as the pathway to true freedom and responsibility. He also emphasized the interconnectedness of freedom, noting that one's actions inevitably affect the freedom of others. This interdependence introduces a moral dimension to Sartre's existentialism, where individuals must act in ways that respect and enhance the freedom of others. Sartre's later works reflect a deep engagement with Marxism, colonialism, and collective action. While maintaining his existentialist framework, he recognized the importance of addressing structural oppression and societal constraints on individual freedom. In Critique of Dialectical Reason 1960, Sartre sought to reconcile existentialism with Marxist theory, analyzing how individual freedom operates within historical and material conditions. He argued that true liberation requires both individual and collective resistance to oppressive systems. Sartre asserted that freedom is not merely a philosophical abstraction but a lived reality grounded in choices and actions. He believed that individuals must take full responsibility for their freedom, acknowledging the weight of their decisions without retreating into excuses or external justifications. This responsibility extends to social and political realms, where individuals must challenge systems that deny freedom to others. Sartre's existentialism thus combines personal authenticity with a commitment to social justice. Nasha 1938, Sartre's first novel, exploring existential angst and the alienation of modern life. Through the protagonist Quentin, Sartre delves into the unsettling realization of freedom and the absence of inherent meaning. The Roads to Freedom trilogy 1945 to 1949, a series of novels examining freedom choice and the moral complexities of political engagement. Plays No Exit 1944, a philosophical drama presenting Sartre's famous line, "Hell has other people." The play explores themes of self-deception, interpersonal relationships, and existential guilt. The Flies 1943, a reinterpretation of the Orestes myth, exploring themes of freedom, responsibility, and political resistance. Essays, Existentialism is a Humanism 1946, a defense of existentialism against critics, emphasizing its ethical and humanistic dimensions. Critique of Dialectical Reason 1960, Sartre's attempt to reconcile existentialism with Marxism, addressing collective action and historical materialism. Sartre and feminism, through his partnership with Simone de Beauvoir. Sartre's existentialism influenced feminist thought, particularly in emphasizing individual freedom and the rejection of predefined roles. Sartre's existentialism shaped post-war literature, inspiring writers and thinkers such as Albert Camus, Franz Fanon, and Iris Murdoch. His works remain central to discussions of freedom, ethics, and the human condition. Sartre's ideas continue to resonate in debates on authenticity, political responsibility, and the role of individuals in shaping society. Sartre's legacy lies in his ability to bridge philosophy, literature, and political activism. His commitment to freedom and authenticity continues to inspire new generations to confront the challenges of existence with courage and creativity.